Welcome in everybody to the Arcade Captains Tournament, and in today's matches we have Team Momo against Team Rocket playing against each other, so things will definitely be entertaining as we are starting off with Myers on Laris Memorial, so that could be an interesting set, but I am not alone. I am joined by my lovely friend, Annalexis. Hello.
Hello, hello. This is indeed a very interesting set as we have Scratch Mirror Myers trying its best to find the obsession and get a little of speed, but I don't think he has managed to spot that white. I was not paying very close attention here, but he does. Oh, he found him. I think he's gonna commit to this chase for a bit. And yeah, what do you think about this set? I've seen this set run a couple times in a couple tournaments, but I think it's quite unique and it's definitely bringing up some spice to a semi-final.
I haven't seen this set in quite a while, and getting this in semifinals is pretty interesting. As Scratch Mirror Myers is not picked very often, and it seems like that we are seeing some player food coming into Kolosh right here with our so water in chase. He's trying to prevent it from happening, though.
Yep, he doesn't want to give the God Palette, and at the same time, he doesn't want to give the Weave Stack, and I'm quite interested to see how we see Sloppy Boots are in effect here. How do you actually play this? Do you want to stick to the Obsession, try to farm a few Weave Stacks off him, and then when you have 3, you kind of drop him and go away, try to find someone else, or do you want to stay with him now that he's injured? I think Swatter had a good idea here of like letting him take a health state on him so he kinda sticks and he doesn't spread the pressure too much around the map.
I believe sticking to the obsession in the beginning of the game and getting those play refuel stacks is not a bad idea, especially that Scratch Mirror Myers is a pretty slow killer when he's on tier 1. But actually, Tujen's popping during this time. No hook happening yet, and oh my god!
Wow.
Rocket did not, unfortunately, did not manage to, well, just avoid going down, but that is unfortunate. And, well, I sort of jinxed it. We do see the first hook stage coming through.
Yeah, the captain of the team fumbling the bag a little here, and it is a god palette, but the thing with this palette is that when you're playing against a killer without terror radius, you can't terror radius raid. Yes, Myers does breathe very loudly, so you can try and fine-tune your senses into pinpointing his location. 2 more gens pop, and we do find the obsession again. And I think... Oh, my bad.
I'm so sorry, my bad. I was just a little bit speechless with the gen progression that the team actually from Team Rocket had in this position.
I was gonna say that I think this set shouldn't have too many stages though. It should have like maybe a kill at the end and at most like 1, maybe even 2 if you're lucky before. But right now, I don't know. He has a whiff stack, he has 2 hooks. I think he can get more, and he has 2 people injured.
I do agree on that one, and so far 2 hook stages, and it seems like that is what IPIC is trying to go for, going for no way out stacks, because this can actually pay off in the end, and we do see this a little bit of a nasty combination towards endgame with no way and no way out. You never want to face this anytime, because this is just a little bit tricky to play against, and on this map finding the know it is pretty hard, as the totem spots can be a little bit hard to find.
Yeah, and with that, you want to probably try and get either Swatter here, that is the obsession, or you want to try and find Zynox, that is your other fresh hook, so you can get that third and fourth no way out stacks. But right now we see the killer is actually trying to go for Swatter since he is injured, and he's in a corner of the map that doesn't have any god palettes left, so that's really crucial. But I don't know, against Myers, that's 110. I think every pallet's kind of a god palette, especially when your team can come in and take a tag.
I do agree with you on that one, and it seems like that's what is sort of happening right now. Oh my god! Using this smoke to try and go for a rocket. That was a really good try from IPIC, but he's not playing. Oh my god, what is... I'm actually surprised what is happening right now, and I feel like Rocket taking the chase would have been better than Swatter, I believe, unless unless I missed something and both of them were already hooked. But I think
Hmm.
that we saw
No, Rocket was hooked, but Swatter is fresh.
Oh, it has given a lot more stages then, but even though the final gen is popping, like that is still a little bit problematic, and the Noed is somewhere like in between the hook as well.
How do you play this? Do you camp the hook? Do you take the 5 stages? Oh, never mind. I think we're going straight into the door opening. No, we're doubling back. I think he spotted Nazan there, and he knows Nazan is worth as many stages as Swatter was, so he wants to find Zynox. He wants to get that precious fourth rest.
This is actually Nazan, so the person at the gate was
Zynox.
Cynox. Oh my god, well, it is quite a bit unfortunate to read, but both of them are playing male characters, so it might have been a little bit tricky to tell which survivor is the one who's on fresh hooks. So maybe if they have a chance, they could try to find Noed, but it is pretty risky as a little bit of a miscommunication, and then problems are going to start to happen.
Yeah, and I do wonder where is Rocket. We haven't seen him in a while. I know Zynox on the other gate. No Way Out does run out now, and we know Swatter is here. But where is Rocket? And is Rocket maybe looking for Noid? Maybe they try to cleanse it and then go for a save. I think giving up 5 stages is not good. I don't think that's a situation you want to be in, because it's so hard to get those early hook stages. Yes, the 3 at the end might be guaranteed with the Noid No Way Out combination, but what about those before? How do you get those fresh 2 stages?
I'm honestly not sure how to like how the survivors can try to play this. Like we can just tell by what is happening right now. We see someone crouching, of course. Swatter is kind of like stuck at the gate, and the person on the hook is about to die. So that is slightly problematic because the killer can camp the Noed, and if Nathan is about to die right now, then the killer is going to confirm 2 kills and 6 stages, but with 3 fresh is out.
Ooh, this is very problematic. I was saying that getting 5 is difficult, let alone 7. If Swatter goes down here and Noid is in play, Swatter does go down. That's 7 stages for a kill. I think that's massive. I am not an expert on this set, but I don't think Scratch Mirror Myers is meant to get that many stages. Oh, and he's going in the basement.
Well, I did not expect for IPIC to turn the game around like this, and even though the Node is getting found right now, it is a way too difficult of a situation since Rocket is injured and Zynox is farther from them. And honestly, the range of Scratch Mirror is actually insane. He can see them from across the map.
Oh my god, is he gonna intercept him? Oh, the rocket. Oh my god, are we gonna go for 8 stages? We went from 5 to 7? No, okay. The team is here. I think he's trying to lose collision with a Stalking, but... Ooh, can he hold him here? Oh, the reset's coming in. There is Slop in play, although Rocket was injured quite a while ago, so... Ooh, we're getting through? No, oh, that was so well played. It's a nice try.
That was a nice try indeed. And honestly, if that would have worked out, then the result would be actually insane. But even right now, looking at the result that IPIC got for his team is truly insane. Getting 2 kills and 7 stages, but 3 fresh hooks are out. So I am honestly wondering how Team Rocket is going to answer to that. And welcome back in after a very short break. And we are beginning again with the first set and now second trial, as we are seeing from Team Rocket. Now on Killer, we see Ultra, which is pretty interesting. And I feel like I believe for some people, the ping difference could hit in some way. So comparing to the results from the previous trial, what do you think Ultra like has to try to do to be able to get a win condition going?
I guess he has to start off classic, like get the Puif Starks from his obsession, commit until he has 3 of them, maybe get a down, and I think he has a snowball at the end. I think he has to somehow get like 4 slugs at the end. I don't know how he will do it with buyers, but 7 stages, 7 stages. That's insane. That's 2 kills and 1 fresh hook. That's so hard to get. Your killer is not meant to do this, especially with this setup.
I totally agree. It is pretty interesting how iPick managed to, towards basically endgame, 1 gen left and having 2 hook stages, and turning that into 2k7. It was phenomenal from him, and I am really curious of how Rocket's team is going to try to get the win con going. But I feel like some situations the ping hits might be a little bit bad.
Yeah, definitely playing against NA West when you have 3 U survivors, one of them being from Russia, like it's definitely not ideal, but at the same time, I think this wincon is really good for this team, because all they have to do is play conservatively. You have so many god pallets, and even the pallets that are just strong on this map against this killer that can only go up to 110 most of the time, or maybe 105, it's so easy to play against. Right now, we have gotten rid of 3 out of the 5 guaranteed god pallets of the map, and we do see another perk coming in clutch here. Deadlock pushing the survivors away from this progress then, as we are committing on Momo for quite a bit. And I don't know, Nat. What do you think? Do you think Ultra is doing well here by committing and bringing Deadlock, or do you think the survivors can adjust and is Deadlock gonna end up biting him in the butt?
I believe that it can come to some clutch, but in my opinion, Deadlock right here, the survivors can try to prevent from like Deadlock from like getting the most progress generator, because if survivors do know how to play around it, and what they can try to do is get a double pop, so Deadlock is going to go towards a different gen. I've seen it happen before, and this is actually just messing up killer's time a lot, and the perk is basically just useless.
Oh, that's medium volt. It's actually gonna cost Momo his life, but I don't think he was trying to loop him for the entire duration of the trial. I think he was mostly trying to delay it long enough so 2 more gens can pop. And I think another thing that Deadlock kinda backfires is that even if all the gens on the map are 0% progress and you pop one, it will just randomly select a gen to block, and then you get information as the killer, and even though you're Scratch Mirror Myers and you can see through walls, if it's on the other side, you might still get like baited into going and checking it when there is actually no one working it.
I completely agree with you, and in this situation, we kind of see a similar thing happening like we did in the previous game. The hook stage happened when 2 gens got completed, but then we saw 2 more gens get completed as the game was just going on and the second stage was coming in. So this situation that Ultra is in is not really ideal unless the survivors can somehow play around it. And I got a little bit scared there because Pedro did get caught a little bit off guard.
Yeah, and with Pedro taking attack, but we don't have Sloppy. I don't know, this tag is very good, but at the same time, it takes away your last Puif stack, and the unhook comes in, and you still need 6 stages. Oh, what? Momo? Well, for those of you that are just as shocked as we are, no, there is no DS allowed. There are actually no perks allowed for the survivors. No perks, no items, nothing. They can bring their fancy hats here to try and confuse the killer, but other than that, they're not allowed to bring anything in this trial. And I think Momo was actually going for the window, and he had a bit of a console or like a spacebar moment when he clicks his spacebar, he instead jumps in a locker. But even with this, it's insane because they can still let him die, and even if someone dies during endgame, it's still only 6 stages. You need 7 to tie. 8 to win. That's insane. Even if Ultra has to bring this back with an insane like 4 months, like I don't see any other way. I really don't.
I really don't. I really don't either. This is just really intense, and we don't know what the outcome is going to be. Momo getting on second stage. The survivors are pressuring the gens right beside Hook, and oh my god! And looking on the bot side, do you see this linked region that they have right beside this Hook?
Oh my god, that's why they're trying so hard. I think they will go for it. I think they will give him 2 tags and do a 2-man save. Yeah, they have to. They have to. It's in a 3-gen. I think because he has this very nasty 3-gen here, you have to give the health stages, you have to get the unhook, because if he dies on the spot and he gets another hook here, it could be problematic. We do have 1 Pwiff stack. Can we get to Ipic before he gets to the pallet? No. And Ipic is very aware of how slow this killer is. You will never catch up to him, he can just vault this. And we do waste the Pwiff stack as well. Ooh. Now all the survivors have to do is just drop this side of the map, go to the other side to reset, and do a 2-2 reset on safe pallets. And if they do that, I think they're in a fine spot.
I believe so they will be, but if Ultra is gonna decide to go to the other side of the map and try to find the reset spot, then it is... this is what he's doing right now, but already 3 people are fully reset, so that is... it is pretty a hard situation for Ultra right now. 2 stages and 1 gen left. He does have the line region, but if survivors are gonna play around it, if they're going to split between the 2 gens in the corners, then I don't think Ultra have any chance of trying to win unless he can do something with Noet towards the end.
This is so painful. Yes, you don't even get this tag. You do get the god pallet out of the way. Remember earlier Momo was looping this area where the 3-gen is, and he did drop most of the pallets there. So the survivors have to play around their health states. Like, you need both survivors to be healthy so they can take 2 tags and escort you out of this danger zone. But I don't know. Yes, there are no resources left, but you're still a 105 killer. How are you meant to injure and kill those people? Look at him, he's almost faster than you.
Yeah, it is really tough. I think the gen that they have in the corner over there does have quite some progression. So, honestly, taking this tag and just going away might not be very ideal. The survivors can quickly reset if they need to, as there is no sloppy involved in this game.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Slasher in a while. We need to find Slasher. This is basically back to ground zero when we had at the start of the trial, where the killer was trying to find the obsession to get those brief stacks. Because if you don't have this mobility to be a normal killer, well, you need 3 of them to be normal, let alone like with 1 or 2 that you can kind of threaten to get someone. You do get 1 off Slasher here. I think he should stick there. But at the same time, you do see another health survivor going for the reset. You see everyone. Ooh, is this the point where he gets it back? Can he get it down here? No, they are informed by their teammates that the killer is coming. This is so difficult. How are you meant to play this as killer? Because the survivors can always run away and reset.
I completely agree, but I think we know position of every survivor at this point, and I guess Ultra is just trying to take the chases, maybe get rid of pallets, and try to get some flavor food stacks, but it is not working very well. He is deciding to come back to the region instead, and the situation that he's in is just horrendous. And this gen is almost about to pop. We are about to get to endgame very, very soon.
Yeah, we're about to get to endgame, and he's still at 2 stages. He needs 5 more to tie, and not only does he need 5 more, of those 5, he needs 2 freshes. Like, you can no longer rely on getting a kill. You have to get a fresh, and you need to find another one after him. And after you kill the second fresh, you need to wait until you find another one. Ooh, we do get the tag on Slasher though here, and we will get another Pwiff stack back from having chased with him. Now we are on 3 Pwiff stacks. Ultra has caused quite enough chaos to get his quote-unquote win con active, to have 3 Pwiff stacks and maybe catch someone off guard, maybe get another hook in his 3-gen. Ooh, we catch Ipic sleeping here, but does he make it to safety?
That is so difficult to watch right now. Like, the tags are happening, but the gen progression is increasing in another generator that is definitely split from the other ones. And even with no Perix, they are playing phenomenal. They know what to do. They know how to call out like everything that they need. And honestly, Ultra is just in a bad position.
Yeah, and you do have one Puif stack left, but after this, the survivors will be the same speed as you, and you do have a bigger hitbox, meaning you can't really catch them if they loop objects tight enough. And oh, we do cut someone a bit out of position here, but it's not Slasher. I don't know. I think even if you chase Pedro here for like... Oh, Pedro doesn't know how many Puif stacks Ultra has, so he drops his pallet a bit early. I think he could loop this at least 3 times before he had to drop it, and... Ooh. We go for a swing. I think his teammates are on the Zen. I don't see any resets happening. I am pretty confident there are 2 people on the Zen. Yeah, and it pops.
Yeah, from this situation right here, even though Pedro is about to go down, I don't think it matters. There is no way out. Ultra is starting to just um, at least try with know it only, but even with just slugging, if they got straight away on the gate, or maybe they are actually... Oh my god,
Wow.
that is so unfortunate. That totem had to be somewhere in the open, because there's absolutely no way they found it so fast.
That's incredible. And again, someone might come in and see this trial and say, oh, okay, then Ultra had a bit of a tough game. No, I think Ultra's result is the expected one. You're expected to get about 5, if you get lucky, maybe 6 stages. That's assuming he will get Pedro to die, by the way. I'm pretty sure the survivors are resetting to come in and save him. So I think we have to give props to Ipic for his killer performance. Getting 7 stages on this set, it's immaculate, it's impeccable. I don't know what to say, very well played. And he also did very well when they had the 3-gen. It was his chase that actually bought them enough time to reset on the other side of the map while he was getting chased on the 3-gen and getting out. So Ipic MVP for this set for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And honestly, looking at what is happening right now, this set will be taken by Team Momo. So, well, this is just the first set that has been played through. And honestly, I am just impressed with the result that I pick out for his team. So this just showed us that even Myers and Scratch Mirror can be somewhat strong if you know how to play around it very well. But moving forward, we will be taking a short break, and we will be moving to the second set. That is Doctor Team Rocket will be starting with Killers. So please wait 2 to 3 minutes, and we will be back. And welcome back in, everybody, to the second set of our today's games. Team Momo against Team Rocket. Continue with Ultra on Killer. It is going to be Doctor on Dedox Saloon. So, previously, we saw an incredible performance from Momo's team, getting a really nice result. In this game, we are starting off with head-on. So, please tell me, my dear friend, what do you expect in this set?
I expect to see people run to main. That's all I'm expecting right now. I saw Doctor sets last week, and all I saw was people being like, yes, I took tag, now I reach main. And then the killer was just crying because his power wasn't working with the elevation difference. So this is so unfair, but at the same time, we see here Pedro looping the killer as well as he can, but he can't get any assistance because he is the head-on player. And if I was the killer, I would be very happy getting the head-on player tunnel out. So we will be taking the first tag here, and with that, he will be reaching main. Oh, we do see the first perk coming in, Rapid Brutality. Well, the second perk, the first one was, of course, Corrupt Intervention. And I don't know, Nat, I think that without the 3-gen spawning as often in the backside of Gallows, I think Doctor sets are very difficult. And what do you think? What is your expected result? I'd say 2k max.
Honestly, I usually thought the expected result for Doctor is usually 2 kills and 6 stages, and potentially 7 stages, unless the Doctor is gonna play it through like very well, and things will just turn out completely differently. And sometimes I was even seeing sets where Doctor was getting a 4k, which actually really surprised me, because I do not believe that this killer is that strong too. I just got at a loss of words. I thought the body block was about to get just messed up right there.
Yeah, there was a bit of Oh, I don't know if running away from main while injured is a good idea, Momo. I would have stayed there. Even if there is a teammate looping it, yeah, it might not be as safe. Oh, and now we have to loop this pallet. It's a bit unsafe. The doctor can't deny it with the usage of power. And we have the vault. Any teammates here to take a tag? No, this will be the first down. And yeah, Nat, I completely agree with you. Like 6 to 7 stages are the expected, but I would say on this specific map, I don't know. Can't you really get 7 stages? Yeah, the rest of the map is not as strong as Wrecker's Yard or Wretched Shop, but when they reach main, it's just so painful. Even if you break all the doors, like I think there's nothing the killer can do.
Yes, I completely agree. And I have to be honest, the hook that just happened on Nia, it's really not ideal for survivors right now. It is towards the corner, but look at the little totem right beside the hook. And that could be problematic for one of the survivors, but the jump progression is pretty good so far. So maybe there's a pretty good chance that they will get a really good result. And this doesn't look to me as a really strong Triton.
Yeah, that fourth gen is not as strong, especially when you get rid of the water tower gen. But the hook is in a nice position because you can defend it. But even so, you still have like a minute and a half until the survivor is completely dead. Even if their teammates don't attempt to save him. And I don't know. I feel like the early game was a bit lackluster. I think Pedro did a very good job at catching Ultra's attention and forcing him to stay and chase him around main building. That even though he has a nice hook on Momo right now, he doesn't have enough pressure to the rest of the survivors. He only has one injury on Slasher that is the survivor affected by said totem. So yeah, I am leaning towards the 6 stages here. I think that eventually Momo will die, but he will lose his regen, and then maybe we get one more kill at the end game.
Well, we just have to see towards the end game. That is the 4th gen popping, and we do see the unhook happening. Momo did get into 2nd stage, so that is 2 stages so far, and at 1 gen left, which is looking not very ideal as we can see. And honestly, if Momo is gonna get eliminated fast enough, then maybe there is some sort of a chance. It seems like that Ultra will be taking his free hook stage. Another rush hook out, and let's see if... Okay, that was a Pioneer's hook, so it is some sort of regression, but I think what the survivors have to do is go reset, because playing against a doctor while you're injured is way too risky.
Yeah, and also Slasher is the last survivor you want to have hooked, because Wretched Fate does make it so that Slasher is affected by a 33% penalty on progressing gens, so I don't know, if you want to have someone hooked, it's definitely not him, so I agree with you. If the survivors do get reset here, I think it's the game, it's the set for them, because well, it's not a set because they still have to play killer, but it's a very good win condition for them. But if Ultra manages to spread a little chaos like we saw him do in his safe set, maybe he can catch someone off guard, because I think survivors are not resetting, they're staying here to do the gen. I think Ultra is smelling the same. Ooh, we do find an injured survivor, he's at the edge of the map.
This is really risky, because that is another fresh hook being out on another survivor. So I think being cut off in this kind of position was not very ideal, like either. And I believe this will be another pain rest, and I am...
Yeah, this is quite a surprising position for our serve team, and I don't know, how do you come back from this? This hook was a bit of a... Oh, never mind, I was wrong. They were resetting. Okay, so now you have both sides have taken a bit of a small step towards their win cons. One has fully reset, the other one has a hook in the 3 gen, but now we are committing on a chase in main building. Yes, it is Momo. Yes, Momo is death hook, but remember, even if you get him injured, a survivor can come in, take a tag. Momo can keep looping the main building where your power is basically useless. He will take the tag here, however, and with rapid brutality, maybe we see some sort of mind game. Nope, we're just gonna drop him. We do see the hallucination in the distance, which means that either Slasher or iPick are back there, and I think because this is still a very dangerous Zen to be working injured as there are no resources left around. I think it was probably Slasher. No, it was Ipik. Ipik keeps doing the same Zen over and over. Pedro comes in to take the tag for him, giving him a bit of a get out of jail free card there. And with that, they will run away into the sunset again, reset behind Gallows. Ooh, that's a very nice usage of power. Remember, it got buffed recently. When I say recently, I mean 6 months ago. And now you do get it every 20 seconds or so. But I don't know. Like, you do want to interrupt the reset of the injured survivors, but at the same time, if you do so, the survivors on the other side will pop your last generator, so maybe you get 2 downs for this, but are these 2 downs worth it? One of them would be on Pedro, who is fresh, and the other one would be on Ipik, who has taken a stage. So you would be getting a maximum of 7 stages here, which is an ideal result for you. So in my book, maybe Ultra should have went after Ipik and Pedro. We do find Slasher and Momo resetting here. We will be interrupting them. Slasher now is in tier 3. He will have to snap out of it. And I don't see a way for the Survivor team to get this back at the 6 stage threshold. I think this is still outable, but I believe you have to concede a few more points. And I'm being informed my fellow co-caster had a bit of an accident. Their power went out, so they will be back soon. Don't worry, guys. You will not be stuck with me forever. But until then, we have a down on Pedro, who is fresh. So does the Gen pop before this Pain Res come in? No. The Pain Res does come in. This is a bit problematic, because besides Laser, we have 3 freshes. We have a hook on the other side of the map, which is not ideal for a killer, but at the same time, unless the Gen pops any moment now, it will be a bit difficult for our Survivor team to... Oh, we do get the unhook. We find 2 survivors in a blast radius. One of them is Ipik, who is injured. Ipik will be running towards the main building, I think. Oh no, she went upstairs. Ooh, and Ultra knows this last Gen has a lot of progress, so she cannot really commit to Ipik, who is on the verge of death. We see Momo there, who is indeed Death Hook. I don't know how this breaks, honestly. We're a bit on of a stalemate, and Ipik keeps aggressively pressuring these Gens, while his team is taking a bit of a slower approach, where they're going for the resets. Now Ipik is stuck on this... Ooh. Oh no. I think this is a bit of a ping diff, because Ipik has quite high ping to NA West, so he didn't react to Ultra missing the sock fast enough to get that vault. And now Ultra will be getting a second stage inside his 3 Gen. Momo is coming in for a tag, or is he? Is he coming in to pressure the Gen? You do need to pressure the Gen, you need to force the killer's hand, you need to force him to get away, because if he's allowed to camp this for free and get the death in the 3 Gen, this is looking more like 9 or 10 stages. We are already in the 8 to 9 stage threshold, which is very bad for this killer in this map. But you still want to get as good a result as possible for your killer player. And if you manage to get Ipik out of here, this is the best possible scenario for you. We keep sucking the Gens, making some damage control. We see Slasher is the only one working that. We know Momo is in tier 3, he has to snap out, or he has to pressure the unhook, otherwise he cannot work on generators. We are missing Pedro, who is injured, so cannot really aggressively work these generators without risking anything. We see Momo going for the unhook. We are going to intercept him. Yes, we are. We now have Slasher in tier 3, so Slasher can't work on the Gen. Maybe Pedro is around and swaps in to put some pressure on the Gen. Oh no, what? Pedro is on the right side. Pedro is towards the water tower area, so that's very problematic, because now you have 2 injured survivors and Slasher, who is not going for the unhook, and Ipik is gonna die. Oh, I see some scratches here. Did someone reach inside? No, they didn't. With Ipik dead... Oh, they do get the Zen though, they do get the Zen. There is a silver lining. After all, there was adrenaline on Slasher, which is interesting. I think you should send Slasher in to take the unhook, and then pick him up with adrenaline. That would be something they could perhaps micro better, but he was the only health survivor. He was the only one that could realistically pressure that generator. And right now, all the killer has to do is... Well, you see there is no haste on the top right, so he doesn't have Noed. But he does have to find Slasher ideally. Ooh, Pedro is out, and at the same time, I think Momo should also be out. We are forcing him out. Yup. Now, the question is where the survivors resetting or where the survivors opening the other door. If the survivors were opening the other door, and we know there's no Noid because we just slapped Pedro out of the gate, we are flying colors out, and yep, that will be the end result of this trial. I don't know what to say. I'm actually speechless. This was a very well played game by both sides. This was looking at the end, especially like Ultra was going to take this one home. Like he was gonna get more than 8 stages, and he was gonna get a very good result. Because as we said on this map, we're expecting a maximum of 6 stages for a killer player, especially when he doesn't bring in Noid. It's a very weird decision. But at the same time, at the end, while Ipik was drawing his last breath, Slasher pops the Zen, which is an insane moment. If that silver lining doesn't exist, I wanted to realize how bad the things were for our team of survivors. But with that out of the way, I think we will be moving into a very interesting trial 2 for a second set of the game, where we'll be seeing Team Momo trying to bring this one back, and I'm pretty sure that Ipik will be having something to say about getting tunneled out. So see you all in about 2 to 3 minutes as we're setting up our next lobby.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the second trial of the second set. Had a little bit of issues before, but we are back now. And continuing with the Doctor set, that is pretty interesting. And Ipik continuing on Killer again. So I am interested how he is going to respond to the win condition that he have for himself. I believe it is 1 against 6 stages that Ultra did result for his team. So, what do you expect of this set to happen?
First of all, I wouldn't take Jason, Nason, or Rocket because they are considered to be the 2 best Doctor ladder players, so I would assume they're just as good at playing against him. And on the other hand, I think it was looking grim for Team Momo there for a moment, because Ultra had such an insane game, but at the last moment, Slasher pops the Zen, so I think right now 6 stages are not impossible, but remember, he has to get 3 fresh hooks, which I am not so sure that you can do on this set.
Well, it may be a little bit hard, but we just have to see how Ipik is going to manage this set right here. And 2 pallets back to back is actually insane in this place. And Swatter doing an incredible job keeping the killer busy in this direction. And as the first gen already popped in the background, will slowly go towards more progression than this. And we see a lot of totems on the map.
Yes, it wouldn't be a Doctor set if there weren't totems on the map and Rocket dropping pallets on the killer's face. That's like the most iconic duo I can imagine. But yeah, I think we're going for a bit of a Hex build, trying to maybe waste a bit of the survivor's times to get our fresh hooks. But I think the teamwork on Rocket's team, as we saw last week on the Doctor sets, is on point, and I think you will be having a bit of a hard time, especially having this watermill loop connected into the TNL. So even if you sock the survivor away from the pallet, like Ipik is doing here greatly, ooh, he does die under it. We do have the blast though to make sure there are no survivors around to threaten that pallet save. Oh, we see someone popping. We saw Nason on the totem. Nason doesn't have a flash. It was Pedro that had the flashlight. So we will be getting a hook for a Zen. And I am assuming there are 2 more Zens in the distance having quite some progress. So I'd say it's quite good for Ipik. All he needs to do is find another survivor and then camp them to death, maybe? Ooh, main Zen pops.
Well, I suppose that that could be some sort of good plan to try and do. And honestly, with 2 gens already being finished and the main gen that survivors, well, I always tell myself, when it comes to Dead Saloon, the main gen I usually leave alone because the killer have a side of a hard time reaching towards the gen. And as this chase is happening right in front of the main building, and that is Zynox doing very well on this pallet, even though it shouldn't be really safe against the Doctor.
Oh, the sock does come through. That does mean Zynox won't get the window upstairs, and we did see Quick and Quiet come through when Zynox was vaulting the pallet, so I think he is ahead on player, so we are not afraid of any head-ons coming in and out of this locker, so we will be committing him. But remember, guys, these elevation changes here and there are messing up the killer's power so much, so whilst we did see Ivy get off on a great start, he's in a bit of a rough spot right now, because this won't reach. This won't sock Zynox. Yeah, this is the elevation issue. That's why everyone is running to main, because as soon as you can get a bit of a loopets going, the killer is basically... he can't do anything, and Rocket's here to take attack to make this even worse for him. Wow.
This is pretty interesting what is happening right now. The hit coming in from Rocket was really good, and they are doing a phenomenal job keeping iPick in the main building as others are trying to work on the gens. And that is head on as well! Zynox just did he didn't. Oh, that could cost iPick the game right now, because the survivors are doing a phenomenal job, and the 4th gen is popping. No 3 gen, nothing. iPick is in a tough spot.
Yeah, reading this set, I was always like, yep, Team Rocket's gonna get this one home, but with Ultra having a bit of an average result, I still had hope, and I'm not gonna count iPick out of the picture yet. He could still bring it back with a bit of a nice endgame here, but I don't know, this totem build that he brought forth, I think the survivors didn't really bite. They kinda ignored the totems, and now we have this very awkward late game situation where you will be getting this down, but at what cost? I think it's all your gens.
This is a really bad spot for iPick, and I think what survivors are just going to do is open the gate and take the escapes, because that will guarantee them the win for the set. So, in my opinion, Team Rocket did a phenomenal job playing the set through. They did amazing on survivor side, and they did really good on killer as well. So. This set is taken by Team Rocket, and Team Momo, unfortunately, will have to try within the next set that we have prepared for you, which will be Plague on Sanctum of Wrath, which I've never seen before, so I am excited for that one. So 2 to 3 minutes, dear viewers, and please stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting off with our third set of today's games, Team Momo against Team Rocket. Previously, we saw the first set, Myers being played on Alaris Memorial. It was a phenomenal set to watch as Team Momo took the win. But Team Rocket took the win of the second set, which was really entertaining. So, looking towards this what we have right now is going to be a plague, and honestly, what do you think is going to happen? Because I actually see a very nasty four gens on one side of the map.
Yeah, the Forzen is not looking good for Team Rocket here. And we also see, I think we saw another power in main, so maybe 2 out of 3 of the killer powers are on this side of the map, so... And Corrupt at the same time. This is very problematic, because remember, there is... If you get a down before you have to use your powers, you're more than happy as Plague, especially on this quote-unquote 3-gen heavy maps like Sanctum of Wrath or Suffocation Pit. And Nazo now is fully infected to the other side. We do see Thanatophobia coming in play, as the survivors are working these generators 2% slower. And... Oh, the second power was actually... The 2 other powers were on this side of the map, so it's not as bad as I originally thought. But still, that Fortune is looking very tight, and I would say... IPIC has a very good chance of getting... I'm gonna be generous here and say 8 stages.
Well, looking towards what you are saying, expecting 8 stages. Actually, I cannot blame you at all for that, because this line region right here is going to be a very like, I think I know what happened to Rocket, and that could have been the first down, but I think I kept out him into aim 1 instead of grabbing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was to deny the infection on if there was some other sinister plan behind it or if it was just a straight up misclick trying to get the vault and instead jumping into the locker. This could have been very problematic, but right now we have 2 Thana stacks, 4% slower on the generators, and we do see eruption as well as all the gens on this side of the map are getting kicked and puked on. And yeah, this is what I expect. As soon as you get two injuries or usually you get 2 infections, and then you go with Plague and pick up your power to accelerate your pressure on the map about the same time when your corrupts are running out. And the idea here is get it down, go and hook the survivor next to the most progress generator, which right now would be the one on our left here, like not this one, the one further behind the ace. And after that, you're more than happy. You're also getting your eruption proc, and right now, you know, most generators on the map are 0, and there is two generators, one around 50%, one around 70. And ideally, you hook the survivor right next to the 50 or the 70 gen, and you deny them most of their progress in the game. And we saw Swatter on the other side touch a generator that infected him, so we have quite a bit of information right now. I don't know how Epic is going to play this. I think he is going to instead deny Nazun his progress on this side of the map, because we saw him here earlier. Nazun will instead pre-drop this pallet, and I'd say, even though his power is running out, Ipic's in a great spot.
I definitely agree on that one. Honestly, I am pretty interested that he decided to go all the way towards the shutdown. No! Nathan, oh my goodness, that was so unfortunate. He ran right into Ipig. Maybe he did not expect for him to play it that way, but that is another stage happening right now. And with Ipig not even protecting his fortune right now, so that is just that is just interesting. And survivors are deciding to cleanse, which could be a little bit problematic because I think Swatter did cleanse on the side the way where they have the fortune, if I'm not wrong, or maybe I saw a different fountain.
No, you're correct. His water did cleanse on the Forzen side, so this is a bit problematic. Your hook is not on your Forzen, but you have 2 pools on the Forzen side, so even if you don't get... We do see Rocket going for the pool, it is normal, Rocket is injured, don't want to get another survivor infected, but you don't have to commit on getting Nazun camped out right now and staying on the 3. And you have a Forzen here, you can commit to a chase. Oop, this is not as long as Swatter expected it to be. The former teammates are now battling in this captain's tournament. Swatter will be fully infected after the spook. And if you break this pallet in this orientation, having Swatter on the long side, you don't even have to pick up the power, you can just down him. Oh, does Swatter outplay this? Oh my god!
What? I don't even know what to say. This actually guaranteed Swatter to get away from the fortune side. The head on into the firecracker and there's a pallet, but no! Oh my god, Ipig is swinging through and that is another gem popping. Wait.
No, Rocket!
No! What is happening?
We went from an insane outplay to another insane outplay by Ipig, straight up swinging through the pallet, winning the mind game, and then when Ipig thought, yes, now I brought this back, Rocket jumps from the building to deny him that and give us a triple outpick, but actually he got staggered and couldn't drop the pallet in time. But despite all this, now Ipig has so much pressure on the map, there's only one generator with progress that Zynox has been working on the other side of the map. And remember, there are powers everywhere, you cannot afford to give the Plague a single moment to breathe, because if you do so, she picks up the power right now and snowballs out of control. She's already snowballing, she's already getting a second stage on Nazun as we speak, but she doesn't have power. If Ipig had a moment to hook Swatter on his forgen and then pick the power, I would say this is probably a 4k1. But even without that, I'd say this is close to a 4k0 or minimum 9 stages.
I am just shocked by the outcome that already happened. And 4 stages happening, and what Swatter did was insane. But unfortunately, the play from Rocket did not pull through, and chasing on the side of the map is problematic because this regen, those regen readers aligned together is what might actually kill the survivors, and it is pretty risky as the pallets are already just going away. But Ipig doesn't even try to play for his regen as harsh as as he can, but he's deciding to commit to the other side, take power, and actually go for downs, go for these stages if he can.
Yeah, I think he was never given the quote-unquote ideal opportunity to hook in his 3-gen whilst having enough downtime without giving them too much leeway. I think the survivors were always giving him windows to chase them. And right now, yeah, it looks like, oh my god, you're on the wrong side of the map. But remember, there are powers everywhere. He goes on the wrong side of the map, doesn't matter. He picks up a power and saves the one on this side. And Rocket is in the corner. What's he gonna do? He's just gonna die in like 20 to 30 seconds. And right now, you do get what Nat was saying earlier. You do get a hook in your 4th-gen. Well, a 3rd-gen now, but still, this is... How is the Survivor team meant to break this? Because as soon as he hooks, he has a power next to it. You can basically guarantee Rocket's death. He will instantly pick up the power. He doesn't even care. He's like, okay, 7 seconds. I am just camping you out. You're dying, buddy. And after that, even if they pop the 2 farther gens, like, he still has a 3-gen. They still have to play a 3v1 where it's a Plague that has another power left inside this very, very strong 3-gen.
This is really bad for survivors right now, and I am honestly wondering how can you try to play this through? Like maybe you can try just to go for some like better result from what we had. Usually from what we have with Plague, and honestly, with this 3-gen right here, it is really tough to play. Even with popping the gens, 2 gens on the other side, can like guarantee you some sort of result, but Ipic is knowing his position right now, and it's very very good. So survivors have to pull off in some way.
Yeah, and you see here, even Ipic left to go take his furthest 10, which is the window you have as a survivor to go unhook your teammate. But even then, because his power is still active, Rocket has to cleanse in the 3-gen. He has to concede another power inside this very tight 3-gen that we are seeing. And in order to make the way safely to reach the other side, even if injured, at least so his teammates can go over and work these generators. But I don't know, Ipic has spent quite a bit of his pressure into sniffing out survivors on this side of the map, and so far there hasn't been anyone, at least not while he was here. And remember, the pallet is dropped, so survivors have to pre-rotate quite early if they don't want to get down by the Plague in that corner that is inside the 3, and so I think it's a bit of a blunder, quote-unquote, from Ipic. He does give them a bit of breathing space, but even then, this requires extreme coordination, and if the doctor showed something to us, it is that Team Rocket is the one to pull it off, but execution and theory are 2 different things, and right now, I'm not so sure that Team Rocket can bring execution into our theory.
I can sort of agree, and actually playing this through, I believe it is really painful. And to be fair, this was some sort of a risk that Ipic took right now, going all the way to the other side of the map, leaving his gens and not trying to like protect anything. He does have power by the gen in the corner, so that's what he can try and take. And we see some progression maybe on the gen. I'm not sure, but keeping this with eruption as well, I'm not sure what the play could be. But even if Ipic will run out of kicks eventually, because we know that he will. So we just have to see furthermore what survivors are going to do, how kind of a what kind of a playstyle they will try to adjust to.
Well, the playstyle they're going for is jump in the locker and hope the killer gets stunned by the head-on, because if Ipic didn't get stunned there, that would be 3 downs, but even with the stun, look, Zynox is injured, only one of you can take this window, guys, and if you do, Zynox is left to his own fate. But while this is happening, Nathan is on the other side of the map. He is working on the 3-gen, so you do need this down to happen ASAP, so you can procure eruption and then try to pressure Zynox off the gen. Rocket should be rotating in to take the hit. No, he's not. I think Zynox is fine here, I think... Oh, never mind. I jinxed him. I apologize, Zynox, I didn't mean to. But I think the 3-gen will pop for this. Ooh, is this is his last place though? This is another pain risk. I didn't calculate this. Oh my god, now this is 7 kicks into that 1 gen, so he still has 1 more. with Eruption, and he does pick up the power to kind of snowball this into effect. So if the survivors overcommit for the generator, this could lead to a 4k1 as the killer gets multiple downs. But, ooh, this is tense. We're not finding anyone. We're sniffing this corner again, and we can't find people.
Oh, well, the killer's left right here. Blast might being applied to this, but we see sort of running out of kicks in in some situations. I think Ipic actually thought that somebody is around this corner, but I did see scratch marks when he was going towards this side of the map. I did see scratch marks on the left, though. Somebody already rotated away, and even though Zynox was the last hook pain resonance, it didn't really matter because the gen that got pain was the one that was beside Shaq. Somebody was already working on this side of the map and they were doing their best to get as much progression as possible. Now Ipic without power can infect the gens again, and this is basically a roller coaster at this point.
Yeah, we've seen this movie before, and it is Ipic capping a 3 gen, and it is his only card left. He did have quite a bit of pressure going into this game, and with the mistake survivors he did get 6 stages so far, which is nothing to sniff at, but I don't know. I think this is no longer 4Kable, but even though this is a tight region, the survivors still have quite a few hook stages to give away, even though all 4 freshes have been collected. This is still a very good position for Ipic in the sense that she can still get at least 2 or 3 stages before he has to concede his region, and it will require insane teamwork from Team Rocket for that to happen. And as I said, Team Rocket is the team to bring the teamwork into play, but I don't know, there are no resources left. This pallet is gone. The pallet connecting to this one is also gone. So we don't have a lot to work with. We do have a head-on. And if I'm not mistaken, Swatter is the one with head-on, but he is instead opting to go towards the edge of the map. We're going to use our power. Oh, it's not Swatter, it's actually Zynox. It has 2 hook stages to give away, so this won't be a death even if he goes down. Eruption comes in. I think even if they are tripling that Zen, it doesn't pop by the time the play goes back with power. Ooh, this is risky because Zynox could have a Dren. Oh, we're doubling back.
This is quite risky. Honestly, this is really risky right now. They do get the progression going slowly, but surely they are. And the power being on the side of the map, Ipic is slowly running out of kicks. And if he does, that is going to be problematic because of course, no more gen regression, and it just happens. But 2 survivors in the same spot, and the eruption. Wait, am I tripping a little bit, or the eruption did not get applied to the gen?
I think it was on cooldown from the time he downed Zynox, and now we are committing on Rocket a little around this. Is someone in this locker? No. But we did see that Zen's about 50%, so even if the other 2 survivors were to double him, I don't think it pops in time. And with that in mind, and Rocket being on his death hook here, the 3v1, I don't know, unless the Zen pops by the time the play reaches it, I think it's GG. I think this is a 4k1. Oh my god, look how much progress it had.
It's just so close. Oh my god, he sniped Swatter! I did not even realize that is really bad right now, because Swatter being hooked in this situation, Ipic is truly on fire. We actually don't know how things might turn out. There's not a down with the power, but oh my, he cannot kick the gen anymore.
No, that's 8 kicks. Ooh, we do know Zynox is working the faraway gen. What do you do in this scenario? Zynox is worth 2 stages, Nazon is worth 1, and you have Swatter who is currently worth, Zynox would only be worth 1 actually, so everyone left in the game is, besides, sorry, Zynox is worth 2, Nazon's worth, and Nazon and Swatter worth 1, so yeah, Zynox does pop the gen. I think he has enough time to unhook Swatter, but I don't think it will be free, it will be a trade, so this is either a 4k0 or... Oh, the gates are not on the same side, so I think 1 survivor gets out here. I think this is 11 stages. And because Zynox is the one that has the 2 health states remaining, I think we will be trying to commit on this side of the map and finding him. But that does guarantee that Nazon will be out. Yep, Zynox was trying to open this gate, and he will be spotted. There are no resources left. He does force lock here so that Nazon can open the other door. Oh, he does get the unhook! Last second! No, that's insane! IP got robbed. No, I'm calling the police. What? That's insane. That's such an insane rotation and so risky because if at any moment IPIC double back to the 4K0, that was so risky by Team Rocket, but that's 9 stages so far. IPIC is scared. I think IPIC is feeling like they will be greedy and try to get another hook off. But I think both the survivors have reached the other side of the map right now and are opening the gate. I could be wrong. You could see an unhook happening any moment now. Ooh, I don't think so. I think they will just open and leave.
I believe that's what they should do, honestly, because trying to go for Zynex would be really risky, and even going for the unhook on him would not really change the result, I have to be honest, because one of them would eventually die, so I'm honestly shocked. That is 10 stages, so Team Rocket have a very high win condition to meet on the killer. They actually have to try and 4K, and they have to hope to have a really good RNG, just like I picked it. So, with that being said, we will take a short break, 2 to 3 minutes. So please stay tuned, and we will see how everything goes. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, into second trial of the third set, Plague on the Sanctum of Wrath. And previously, we saw IPIC did a phenomenal result, and I'm still trying to figure out how Team Rocket is going to try and get the win condition going, because that is 11 stages needing to be met. So, what do you think? What the result will be?
I did take a momentary look into our map. I did see split corrupt, which is always bad, and oh no, never mind, the corrupt's not split, but I did see that the gens, the 3 gens, we do have 2 3 gens on opposite sides of the map, are not as tight as IPIC. So people will be like, but Sanctum of Wrath is notorious for spawning these 3 gens, or 4 gens sometimes. But yeah, guys, one 3 gen is very different to another, so a tight 3 gen, like the one IPIC had before, where all 3 gens were basically on the top right side of the map, is much more precious to the killer than any other 3 gen like these ones that Ultra has, where 3 gens are on the same side of the map, but 2 of them are on opposite sides of that side. So while you can have a 3 gen on the north, a 3 gen on the south, you can still have those gens be very split. And this is what we are looking at as Momo is doing his best impersonation of Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, as he has not get hit by the puke once. He does drop the pallet, which was infected, and in turn gets infected as well, but right now we have info on only 2 survivors. Pedro was fully infected and is probably working on the main generator, and I'm pretty sure Momo will go join him, as Ultra will be trying to push them away.
Well, that's happening. Our corrupt intervention is slowly running out. Eruption is being applied to the gens that are being progressed. And Momo did try a little bit with the tech, with walking, so the infection doesn't go, but that is actually a lot of progress, and unfortunately, Ultra, you have to know that Momo is NA as well, so the hits on him are not going to happen like they would on the first minute from you, but the progression from Momo's team is actually insane so far, and even eruption being applied, it doesn't matter. The progression is going up.
Yeah, and the thing is, your win con as Ultra is 11 stages. Guys, 11 stages is at least 3 people dead. To get 3 people dead, you need a 3 gen and you need someone hooked inside it. And right now, while Ultra has 2 3 gens, well, he only has 1 left now. He has to get it down on Pedro, who was on the corrupt side that got unlocked like 10 or 20 seconds ago, so there isn't a lot of pressure left. But you need to get him down ASAP and you need to get him hooked. And whilst this chase is happening, you will watch Pedro will take it either on one corner or the other corner of this 3 gen. And the next thing he will do is die on that corner, make sure his team pops the gen on the opposite side while they will be stacking it. If that happens, Ultra has no 3 gens left. Without 3 gens, no kills, no 11 stages, no wins. So right now, Ultra is very focused on this chase, and this chase is very important for him. Yeah, I was about to say maybe risking it here is not ideal, because remember, the only win... Never mind. Doesn't matter. Oh, what? I picked that was too soon, man.
No! that would have been so good for Momo's team, but that was too early. I picked. That is so unfortunate. But honestly, I don't think even that one flashlight miss, I don't think it matters as much. The jump progression is really high, and even though the hook happened, that is not very ideal because it's the obsession, and the Ultra is running Wretched Fate, so basically one perk is pretty much useless if you decide to kill the survivor that is affected by it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a bit of a quid pro quo, I'd say, because Pedro, not Pedro, sorry, Rocket did miss the pallet save last round, so it only makes sense that Ipic misses a flashlight save, so it kind of equals out. But I would say Ipic was in a much better position as killer than Ultra. Ultra does have his hook, but remember, Ultra doesn't have as many powers, and the one power he has left on the map is far away from the hook and the 3-gen. So if he wants to pick up the power to increase his lethality, he has to concede this unhook. Oh, and now he gets stuck on that rock. It's not looking great for Ultra. Yeah, Ipic is juicing around. Is that SB? Yeah, it is. It was a 99 sprint burst. Ipic will be full infected, but right now all the injured survivors are running away. That's an interesting crack here. Do we reach anything, Pedro? There is a window. No, we are going for the sack pallet. You definitely don't reach that against Ultra. And that will be a down, but it's on the wrong side of the map. And as Nat said, yeah, you might have missed the flashlight save, but if you get the killer away, it doesn't really matter. All you need to do is pop the 3-gen, make sure all gens pop, and at least one of you gets out with one hook that's remaining. And even though Pedro does go on the second stage, he is the Wretched Fate, so we're not gonna cry about it. We are very, very content with the outcome so far as the survivor team.
What the survivors just have to do, like getting even only one survivor out that is even a fresh hook is gonna be a win for Momo's team. Since Ipic got four fresh hooks out, and the people that escaped were both death hooks. So only one survivor escaping with a fresh hook or only one stage would pretty much be considered as a win. And as another region is being broken and the unhook is happening right now, I'm just shocked because actually Ultra is going for the 3v1 very early into the match, and he's pretty much succeeding. So I am curious what the outcome is going to be from this, because maybe the survivors are gonna be in a little bit of a troublesome position.
Yeah, you do get in the 3v1, you know that one Zen has progress in the main building. This pallet is pre-drop. This is how I would expect Pedro to play this earlier. Momo doesn't get hit by power. We see a bit of a tricky mind game. If you zone them here, Momo is 100% dead unless there is some head-on in play, as we saw in the last trial. If Momo goes down here, oh my god, extending it by each second is very important, because this might be the difference between the main generator popping and not. So if the main gen pops, I would assume the survivors have another gen ready to go, or at least 50%. So all you have to do right now as a survivor team is take your time, go cleanse on the opposite side of the map, if you're one of the survivors working that generator, and if Ultra ever does the mistake of leaving, you see this gen has a little progress, so you are... Oh, Ultra is sniffing a survivor out. If he finds the savior here, this could spell disaster for the survivor team, as this could lead into a potential 4v1. Into potential 4k1. Oh, we do find Slasher here in the corner. Ooh, this is dangerous. We are trying to track him. Oh, Slasher is gonna opt to die in the corner.
That is not good. I have to tell you that things are going to start looking like trouble to me at this point. Even though Slasher is fresh hook, I don't think it matters as much, because Ultra really knows what he wants, and I will be shocked if after the performance that Momo's team did, Ultra is going to get a 4K, and step by step, it is slowly starting to look like that, and it is looking pretty scary to me.
So we're basically at the same point we were earlier, but now Ultra has information on all survivors, and whilst he might be rotating to get cleansed right now, you still... This is the crucial point in the match. If Ultra finds a survivor stealthing here, going for the unhook, as he did before, this is basically over. This is a 4k1, it's done and dusted. The ink is on the paper and it's drying out. But right now we do see Slasher has rotated. If I pick stealth and gets the unhook on Momo, we will see a different scenario. But right now, I think both survivors did rotate towards this side of the map to cleanse. No, I was wrong. Ipic did rotate the entire way of the main building and is getting the pull on Momo. But Momo's in a bit of a dead zone. There are not a lot of pallets left on this side of the map, and you still need one entire generator. Slasher will start working on it. Slasher is way safer than the rest of the survivors because the sack pallet is still up. So... Oh. Well, we will be donating 10% progress to our killer, but I don't think that's enough. Yeah, this will be the breakpoint. I would also go for the power if I was Ultra, because you need that accelerated lethality to get the down on the survivor, to get your gameplay going back towards that 4K one. Because remember, you need 11 stages, so basically at this point you're playing for a 4K. There are no regions left on the map. You have to snowball this pressure, and if you don't, I don't know, it's looking rough for you, but right now Ultra has all the cards as long as the red bar on the bottom left side of your screen is active. The moment that runs out, so does the steam that Ultra has in his tank. So will it be enough to... Ooh, we...
I am starting to feel a little bit of fear at this point, because the situation that the survivors are in, and if things will keep happening the way they are, and now the slag as well, I'm just not sure. But even from eruption, they are sticking to gen though, and I think Ultra was about to run out of kicks on that gen, so I don't think they pop though, do they? I don't think so. They do not make this gen.
No, Slasher doesn't pop, but again, Momo is on the other side of the map. You need to get the down on Slasher. Your power is running out. Momo will be picking up Ipic as we speak, and as long as Slasher has a good chase here, all that is required from Slasher right now is to loop them. Oh my god, this is incredible. This is all he needs. All he has to do now is drop the sack pallet. We did hear the wood hit the ground, and now Ultra is caught in a bit of a impossible position, because yes, okay, you might get the down on Slasher. That will happen within 10 to 15 seconds, but you tried this mind game before, it didn't work on him, so I would expect him to, yep, he is reacting to it for a second time. Oh, but a different mind game on a different time on a different tile does work. The other two survivors will be sticking the last gen, so this is risky. Is Slasher the guy with adrenaline? Because if Slasher is the guy with adrenaline, the survivors pop the last generator. This is problems for Ultra, but no, this gen doesn't have enough progress, and I think I lied. Ipic had already rotated. He is next to Slasher. He pops the gen. And this is looking great for Team Momo. All Momo has to do is force Locker. Can he fight the Locker to force him? No. He will be slugged. But Ipic is fresh. So as long as Ipic gets out, that's it. That's the game. And no, you're looking at the door, the wrong door, Ultra. The other gen on the other side of the map popped. So the door next to Sack is probably the one popping. And Ipic is out, and the Slasher gets picked as well. So yeah, that looked dangerous, but as I said, the moment your power runs out, that's all the steam you had to expend. You had to snowball it, and again, same as Trial 1, I have to give MVP to Ipic. Like, he played so well.
I am speechless of what started to happen, because later on in the game, slowly towards the end, it did start to get a little bit dangerous for survivors, but it doesn't matter. They turned the game around, and they did a phenomenal job to take this set for their win. Thanks to Ipic getting the result that he did, the survivors went just into a blast and won this set right here, right now. And well, so far we are seeing 2-1. So, well, that is pretty entertaining so far. And moving forward, we have prepared for you set 4, which will be the Oni on the Records Yard. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back. We are back. Furthermore, to the sets with the games, Momo against Rocket. And honestly, the previous sets got me all surprised, got me all shocked, and we will just have to see furthermore what is going to happen. The first chase, a big beginning with Ipic's sprint burst into a pallet towards a very safe jungle gym. And only on Records Yard, this is basically RNG based towards loops, pallets, and towards these kind of situations. So, what do you think is going to happen? Is the hit going to be early or late?
Oof, this is. I mean, right now I can tell it's gonna be early because he's owned, so he will take attack here any moment now, unless there is. He has this edge filler, but he will be getting Bloodlust 1 unless. Okay, Ipic has been playing out of his mind the entire trial, but how many 50s can you win on an edge filler? So he played this as well as he humanly could, but I think this set is, as you said, a bit RNG based on how good the generation will be and how late the hit will come in. Ooh, nice down here from Ultra, but that doesn't guarantee him power, I think. Yep, it will be about 80%. A very common trick is to hook the survivor. I mean, it's not a common trick, it's like basically the meta. What you do is you hook the survivor, collect some blood orbs, and when you're about 2 orbs away, you come back to the hook and pick up the remaining ones. And we have a Splinter Hull and Akita's Crutch, which will give us more blood when actions are committed, and we have a bit of speed. So I'd say, for this specific set, I'd say the expected result is 4k1, 4k2. If the hit/down comes in early enough, as in this scenario, I'd say it came in relatively early, so I would go for a 4k1, especially given Ultra's ping and how like some survivors are EU based, like Ipic. What do you think? What would you expect from this set?
Well, I have to be honest, I am expecting a lot because the previous sets gave us a lot of entertainment and I really want to see something like good that we can see. And oh my god, that was an incredible flick from Ultra, but unfortunately the ping did not hit. That will be a down, and I pick going into the men's state. Maybe he's going to pick, or okay. I thought that Ultra is going to decide to slug, but I think he got a lot of distance since he is playing with scrimmers. But I am expecting a lot, and we also have to look towards one thing. Oni is going to get changed a little bit, I believe, because I did hear 180 flicks are going to be removed. I think that's what I heard, at least.
Yeah, I also heard something similar, so this might be the last of our flick on here, and Ipic goes back injured for the unhook, which means that the survivor team... So there are 2 ways to play against the Oni. One of them is perma resetting, deny them power, but I think the survivor team had an early enough down that they're like, okay, we can no longer play for this, so what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna play for permanent power, which means we're giving the killer infinite power and we're trying to pop as many gens as we humanly can. Ipic will go down, the killer should have enough blood orbs to get another power here, but this will be the 3rd state, and I don't know, you are removing the 180 flicks, you're making the killer a little less skill expression oriented, because it does require quite a bit of training to pull those off. But at the same time, I think it also makes him a bit more... it makes him fit in with the roster well. So if you are to compare Oni to a traditional M1 killer with power, let's say the Doctor, you see like a 6 states, and now you see Oni sets, and we're like, yeah, the expected results are 4k1, whereas the poor Doctor is supposed to get 6 states. So I think it's a good set overall.
Yeah, I agree on that. And honestly, what is happening in the game right now? Oh, yes, Blasted getting pulled off in the shotgun. There is a lot of progress popping power, and I believe he'll be trying to get Ipic out of the game as fast as he possibly can. Because getting towards 3v1, oh my god! Going towards 3v1 would be really ideal for Ultra right now, and finding Ipic is definitely going to give him a lot of advantage towards mid-game, but slugging Slasher and going for Momo instead, not finding Ipic, maybe is going to result in something more, but if Momo can survive his power, then that is going to be ideal for survivors, and I think he actually will. There's so many pallets on the map, so many fillers.
Yeah, and Ultra runs out of power, and I feel like I'm rewatching the Plague set where Ultra puts so much faith into his pressure whilst power is active that if I think he's underestimating how good the survivors are, because yeah, Momo might not be notorious for his survivor, but this map is very stacked. Oh my god, both gens popped at the same time.
What?
We went from a 4K to 4 stages very quickly. And I'm a bit shocked right now. I don't know how Ultra is gonna progress this game. I think this is as many stages as he gets. If he tries to go for more, the survivor gets saved by Ipic, who is on death hook, so it doesn't mean that much if he dies. And I'm pretty sure there is Momo and Pedro opening the door on the other side of the map.
I am just speechless. Double poke to Unit's endgame. That was phenomenal. And if they're gonna decide to leave Slasher, since, well, this is Oni, and getting a save against this killer is really hard, especially that one hit. And the power would already be there, popping the power, and they wouldn't even make towards the gates. But
Yeah.
looking on, look what just happened. The survivors just completely popped off.
I came in here and said, well, you know, this set's very volatile. He got a bit of an early down. This is a 4K one. And yeah, I think Team Momo had something to say about it. And they were like, nah, I think Momo himself did very well. I mean, there was a lot of skill, quote unquote. He just went from pallet to pallet. But even knowing where safety is and buying those precious 30 seconds did change the outlook of this game. Because you went from what could possibly be 2 downs and a hook into what was basically a killer running out of power. He has to recollect it, 2 gens popping, and, well, 3 survivors out of the gate. That's insane. 6 stages. That is... I would say this is an expected result if you have 2 top-tier teams, where you're expecting a lot of teamwork, good resets, very quick rotations, and incredible team play. But I'd have to say, these teams are pugs, and this just comes off the fact that the teams are they have very strong individuals. As manpower. Like, every one of these players was so good against Oni, and wow, Ultra is left with 6 stages. Insane.
Yes, that was pretty insane. And not making things any longer, we will be taking a short break so we can switch lures, and we will be seeing you in a moment. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second trial of our lovely Oni set. And surprisingly, this time we are seeing Momo on the killer and not Ipic. So, Momo, you better show us the juicing that is going to happen this game. So far, finding the first survivor, that is Nathan right here, and already dropping the pallets around the map, getting as much distance as possible, and they have quite some fillers around the map, so I believe this will be a little bit harder to do as well. Oh, no focus, Momo. This is not happening here. So, from the previous game, with the result, what do you think? How Momo has to play to actually win this?
I'd say it's very straightforward. Bloodlust 25 on this pallet, get a hit, get power, kill someone, hook them, make sure they die, kill someone at the end game, and voila, you have as many hook stages as you need. Actually, no, you got 6 stages last game, but it was 3 fresh, so that wouldn't be enough. You have to get 1 more down somewhere in between. And we hear 1 generator popping off in the distance, which means it was a sack gen, if I'm not mistaken, which is the classic strategy that you do. This was, I think it was probably brought in by X9 originally. It's like, when you're playing Wreckers, get rid of the mid-gen, and then the killer doesn't have as much to work with towards the end game. But Nathan is injured here. He will be greeting this pallet, drops it now. The killer will get his power any minute now. He just has to collect a couple orbs, but I think Momo is more interested in getting the Bloodlust. I think Nathan will reach the window here, it just gave him 2, yeah. So now we have power. We do have a kick on this gen. This is a TNL, and we do see Rocket on the edge. It is connected to a very strong pallet. Oh, it's not Rocket, it's Squatter instead. And he gets hit through.
Oh, a Squatter, you know that you're playing on Crossping. Oh my god!
No!
No! Rocket! You know you guys know you're playing on Crossfang! You cannot play so risky! There's another power for free! What is happening here? These people are on the fire, and honestly, we kinda see a repeat of the story from the Plague set.
Yeah, I think Team Rocket is... I have to say it, if we have to review all the games, Team Rocket is really good with team play and stuff, but sometimes team play comes it backfires. There's no other way of putting it, and I think this is a very good example of how too much team play can end up hurting you more than it helps you. Rocket and Nazun will reset, but right now all Momo has to do is run back to his hook and make sure that Zen doesn't pop and the survivor doesn't get unhooked. He does find, I think this is Rocket, I didn't see. Yep, rotating for the poo. Is this a down with a flick? Nope, it gets auto-aimed on the pallet. Momo, drop this chase, please. Go back to the hook. Oh, never mind. I was wrong.
Oh my god!
Good job, Momo. Well played.
Nah, I do not believe that things like that are hitting. The ping difference is just nasty. That's all I can say. I believe Rocket was screaming from getting that hit on himself. That definitely hurt.
Yeah, and we did see, I think it was Zynox coming in for the pickup on Rocket that will not come through. And right now, remember, Momo needs 6 stages to win with 3 freshes. So let's say he just needs 7 stages to simplify things. So right now you have 3 stages. All you have to do is make sure Rocket dies by the end of this trial. You have 4 gens left. And you're in the grand finals. That's it. You have such a simple task. There is a lot of blood on the map right now. Swatter is still not reset after getting unhooked. And oh, we do find Swatter as well. This is an incredible position for Momo. Yes, the RNG is a bit nasty around this part, but ooh, he just has to get rid of a couple pallets and play it safe. All I have to say is play it safe, Momo. Please play it safe, because this is such an easy win con.
I mean, this is already in 3 stages, and the support is amazing. He's chasing someone who's on death hook, so already 2 fresh hooks being taken, and Dune hook happening, but that is power from Momo, and maybe he's going to get another one? No, Nathan, I believe, is also used, so that is also a little bit unfortunate with cross-ping, but Momo is deciding to leave, and I just now noticed this is such a nasty region in this area, so if somebody is gonna get spotted, and wait, that is going to be really tough, and that is Synox, that is another survivor on the fresh hook, so if Momo can get pulled this, oh no, I think it was live, from Synox. That is
Yeah,
so bad.
I think so too. Momo won that 50. This is a very dangerous 50 to play as a survivor, because if the killer wins it, well, as you see, you do go down. And this is not just a 3 gen, I think it's a bit of a 4 gen, because he has all the generators from bus all the way to the garbage truck on the bottom left side of the screen. Oh, of the map, sorry. So it's such a nasty position to be in, and Swatter is still not reset. Yeah, the killer does have to abandon a position he doesn't really want to abandon to get the power, but at the same time, guys, remember, all he needs to do is get 3 more stages and he's in the grand finals, so I think the survivors have kind of given up at this point. The constant resetting is not coming through. They have accepted the fact that we'll be playing against Oni power. Oh, Swatter does react in time. He doesn't vault that window. He goes on the outside.
Ooh.
Nice little flick around the corner from Momo to get it down on Swatter, and that will be Swatter out of the trial.
I have to say, this is impossible to recover from. Unfortunately, 5 stages already been right into the game, and 3 fresh hooks being out as well. In my opinion, this is not even close to being possible to try and win. Even if they have progression on this gen, it doesn't really matter. They have, like, one of the survivors have rest fate on themselves, and the situation that we are looking at right now is something that you cannot recover from against Oni with power being on the map. And even if you try, you cannot give away a single hook stage anymore, because either you will tie or you just completely lose. So you have to be playing as safe as possible, but with the 3 gen and the totem in between, it's not possible.
Yeah, and I'll have to say here, this is not to take a swing at the survivor team. It's actually to defend them. This is a set that you are expecting a 4K. This is a very volatile set. There is cross-ping involved, so the hits can't really be denied for too long. And again, the expected result would be either 4K1, 4K2, which, realistically speaking, it is very possible here. So we have to give props to Momo's survivor team. We have to give them the well played goes all to them, because they brought him this incredibly easy to reach win con. He only needed 7 stages, and right now, if he gets the down on Zynox, who is worth 2 stages, he has his ticket to the grand finals. All he has to do is down Zynox within a timely matter. Oh, Zynox tries to ziggy away from the Bast. That's not gonna happen because Momo did get stuck there for a moment, so he spots him running away with his little life. And with Zynox down, no, Momo, please don't try to snowball. Just walk, just walk. You can walk. Just force the pallet. No, no, we don't. No, Momo wants to use the power. I mean, it is a high lethality killer. I understand where he comes from, but oh my god, Rocket won 350s in a row, but eventually the flick around the corner does connect, so unless Nason was also waiting for a pallet save, which I highly doubt, yeah. This will be the hook on Rocket. Sorry, the hook on Zynox, this will be his second state. And yeah, if we hook Rocket here, we are in the grand finals as Team Momo. And ta-da! Team Momo gets his ticket to the grand finals, as we do get a very nice survivor side on his side. And I'm while this trial is about to conclude, I'm simply stunned by how well Team Momo played.
I completely agree with you, and with what has been happening is just, it's incredible. We saw so many good plays. Both of the teams were incredible, but Momo's team showed the dominance today. They did show they want to get that promotion to grand finals. They will fight for it as much as they can. Even though they lost that one set, it did not stop them from completely popping off and winning the next sets. Furthermore, this is just something that other teams are like showing for us how sometimes easy it can be from going from like a really bad start in a game towards such a snowball. Furthermore, and Momo's team showed us how sometimes easy it can get, and them actually achieving the goal to get promoted, to get to the grand finals, is just incredible. I loved the performance from both of these teams.
Yeah, and I have to give. I mean, we're not allowed to award MVPs, but I mean, I have to. It would be unfair to iPick to not give him credit for his incredible killer performance on both the Plague and the Sabe set, to get like 11 stages on the Plague and 7 stages on the Sabe, which are both incredible results. And then I have to give him props on his Survivor gameplay on the Plague and the Oni. No, Momo, this will be a black card. Okay, he stopped. So, on both the Plague and the Oni set, like on the Plague set, Ultra had the game in his hands, and both times, iPick's decision took it away. He's like, no, I am winning these sets. I got my 11 stages and you are not getting a 4K. And then we go on the Oni set, and with an incredible chase by Momo, but at the same time, very good rotations from IP coming in clutch to get his teammates off the hooks. We have an Oni that has to collect only 7 stages to win. And as I said earlier, remember, a 4K2, like Momo is collecting right now, or a 4K1, are expected in the sets, because these are volatile sets. But if you have a Survivor roster that can bring you this incredibly easy to achieve win conditions, and specifically one player that both on Killer and Survivor played so well, I think it would be unfair to that man to not say that iPick deserves the MVP. He played so well, and again, congratulations to the entirety of the team Momo for everyone playing incredibly well, but I'd give an asterisk and put a very small exclamation mark next to iPick's name, as he played so well. Hi, Nathan.
Oh. Well, that is one way to say hello. I am just completely speechless from the games, from what was happening. The sets were just incredible, and furthermore, as we are looking towards this game, how they are just trolling together, trying to like look how things are just going to go. But we already know this is a 4K, and I am still at a loss of words sometimes from the way those two teams played against each other. We're fighting, tried to go back to back, but Momo's team did show the pure dominance in this situation. ouch, that definitely hurts, because crossing, even faking the window sometimes is not possible.
Yeah, it was
But
crossping escorted
yeah.
with a little bloodlust.
Yeah, you're totally right. That unfortunately, even trying to fake windows and crossing, it's really really hard. Well, I don't know what else we can say towards everything. On it is coming towards the finish line between these two lovely teams. Team Momo against Team Rocket did show you the incredible performance today of how they can show how good the teams are. Even if even if you're playing just in a pug, it doesn't matter. They showed that they have the synergy, the comms together. Everything was just phenomenal from all of them. And coming towards the end, I want to know your opinion. What do you think about today's games? What do you think about these two teams? Pretty much everything, your opinion.
I think that Rocket, whilst being the defending champion, did come and saw that he can do this. And I have to say, that was very naughty of both teams to pick very coordination-heavy sets. Yeah, every killer in this game requires coordination, of course, but if you pick S tiers, you usually go towards more of a 1v1-esque type of games, but if you pick Doctor, if you pick Plague, if you pick, I mean, even the Sape in a matter, and we sadly won't get to see the fifth set, but it was Artist, so you pick the sets that require a lot of team coordination and require nice and strategic rotations from everyone. I'll have to say that that's not something you would expect from a pug, and I'm very happy to have these sets. I'm very happy to have people like iPick and Rocket and Ultra playing killers and playing them out of their mind, playing very well. As I said, iPick deserves the MVP of this game because he played incredibly well. He gave so many good win conditions. He basically turned the tides on so many sets, and I'm astonished by how much good gameplay you can see out of people in a PUG tournament. Even though these players are not used to playing with one another, as we're watching this delightful Mori by the Oni, the skill, the bare entrance level for these players is so high that when you bring them together, even if they're in a constellation they're not used to working with each other, they still perform, and you get these incredible games. Again, thank you so much for having me here today, Nat. I'll give it to you to close it out. And again, thank you so much to both the teams for playing and giving us this incredible gameplay and this awesome semifinal.
Thank you, Alexis, for being my co-caster today. I appreciated the help, and thank you for Tsuki for the help of the streaming. It was a lovely time watching these teams. The incredible performance from them both. Unfortunately for Team Rocket, that it did not happen for them to advance towards the grand finals, but congratulations to Team Momo that will be going towards our grand finals. And furthermore, we will have to see who is going to play against Team Momo. As for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we have prepared for you Team Pedro against Team Finesse. That is going to be something that you cannot miss. So thank you everyone for being here, and we will definitely see you tomorrow for more, and we will see who is going to face who in the grand finals. Have a good night.